Hi and welcome to this video. I'll be looking at Geregu Power H1 2025 results. H1 meaning the first half of the year, in this case, the first half of the company's financial year running from January to June 2025. Now, I'm recording this just before market open today. Today is Wednesday, 16th of July. I don't think due to the illiquid nature of this stock, I don't think you're going to see much change in price. But if it does, you can always work out the numbers and then see how my forecast would differ, whether the price goes up or down. Uh, Straight to the numbers, H1 2025, the first top, you can see out the numbers for the first 6 months. Numbers were rather flat, revenue up 8.6%, profit after tax essentially flat. Earnings per share reflecting the same thing. Earnings per share is also same as profit per share. Now, if you look at the second quarter numbers, that is April, May, June 2025 versus April, May, June 2024. I mean, clearly you can see that there was a decent uptick in revenue, profit, and earnings per share. So, I mean, just by simple deduction, if you remove Q2 from H1, it's clear that Q1 were the numbers that were a bit soft. So, I mean, if this continues, and that then takes me to my forecast for the year, current prices at Monday when it closed was 1,141.5 naira. Now, zero point 0.5 kobo rather. So 1141.5. Now, if you take Q2 earnings per share, and I've done a bit of math here, take Q2 earnings per share and take Q3 earnings per share, put all the numbers together, you have a full year earnings per share forecast of 17.45. Now, H1 earnings per share 8 naira and 7 kobo, Q3 4.69. That was the forecast that they sent. So if you analyze everything, put Q3 plus Q4, assuming that Q3 and Q4 are the same. In other words, you have H1 plus Q3 and Q4. Then you have full year 2025 earnings per share forecast of 17 naira and 45 kobo. I think that they may slightly exceed that depending on if they're able to recover some of their receivables. One of the Achilles heels of this sector is receivables. Probably if you go to the website when this video is out, then you'd see the article on Geregu that I did, and I'd include or update the article with the page on receivables. So I also have a dividend forecast. Dividend yield wise, this stock doesn't rank very highly because share price is quite expensive. So FY24 earnings per share was 10.97, dividend per share was 8.5, payout ratio 74.48. I think that if they maintain the same payout ratio, and I don't see why not, but even if, I mean, very likely they will maintain the same payout ratio, then they're going to end up with a dividend per share of about 13 naira and 5 kobo. I believe that they probably would either round it up or round it down. So, worst case scenario, you might end up with either 14 naira or 13 naira or 10 naira, as the case may go. But whichever way you look at it, clearly you're going to have a year-on-year increase in terms of dividend. Dividend yield 1.18% at my current price and all that. So really, it's really rather poor. I mean, the stock is priced is trading at over 1,100 naira. So clearly, with the earnings per share of 17.4, forecast earnings per share of 7.4, even if they're to pay out everything, the dividend yield would still be quite tiny. So that doesn't change much. In my opinion, I'd say this stock is a sell. Why do I say so? It's trading about 65.4 times earnings, meaning investors are paying at the current price, investors will be paying 65.4 times higher than its profit. And for a stock that has grown its earnings, I think in the 40s range, KEGA, cumulative average growth rates around 40s. I don't see why this stock should be trading at this price. So even if you take a 40x multiple, multiply it by 17.45, you get maybe 680, you can round that up to 700. So in my view, I think there's less upside. I just don't see what justifies the price at this level. But and even though I have a seller view on it, illiquid nature of this stock means that selling down will be tough. So for anyone who is already here, and well, if you are sitting in decent profit, you might as well decide to sit still. because really the stock is fairly illiquid. About 70 odd percent, just over 70%, roughly 80% of the shares are held by Femi Otedola and all that. You have a couple of other institutional investors. So really, you don't have more than, I think, maybe tops 100 million shares available to buy and sell. And even that stock is pricey. So please note, as always, this is not financial advice. Do your own research, like, share, subscribe, helps with the channel. And let's get the word out. Let's have more content on Nigerian stocks across social media. It helps with financial literacy, it helps with education. It just helps also with coverage. I have so many companies, 200 odd companies, very few people covering them and all. So every like, share, and subscription matters. So see you in the next video.